I'm Joe.
And I'm Lee.
We are the Rewinders, rewatching childhood movies to see if they hold up. This time we watched
Honey,
Shrunk the
the
Kids.
Kids.
I totally forgot what movie it was for a second, and I was like going to say something else.
That's all right. What were you going to say?
I don't know, like Spartacus or something.
Hey, I haven't seen Spartacus in a while. I remember seeing that as a kid quite a bit.
I've never seen Spartacus.
It's okay. But you know the scene. I am Spartacus.
Yes.
No, I am Spartacus.
Now, if we talk about the other movie with the mechanical owl, I've seen that plenty of times.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes.
Not the remake. Although I did see that one too.
No, not the remake.
No.
Though I would watch the remake.
What's the name of that owl? Babu? Babu, Baba,
I don't remember
But he's
anymore.
adorable. And does make a cameo in the remake of Clash of the Titans. He's digging through some garbage and he picks up this mechanical owl and what's this? Then sets it back down.
Wow.
Best part of the movie.
Which has nothing to do with this movie.
Oh, wait. Oh, can we keep talking about a better movie?
No.
No, we got to watch or talk about Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Shrinking the kids. Shrinking the dinkies.
Whoa. What?
Shrinky dinks.
Shrinky dinks. Oh, I thought you said shrinking their dinkies.
No.
I don't know. Maybe.
It may have sounded like that.
It
That's
sounded like
not
that
what
to
it
me.
was intended.
I saw this movie in the theaters as a kid, and what I really remember most is all the big stuff that they made for the movie, like the slides, the Cheerios, even the auntie. Yeah. And
Not creative, kid.
no, not at all.
Yeah. I don't remember if I saw it in the theater. I really don't think I went to the theater that much as a kid.
I know I didn't, and that's why I remember it, because this was a safe Disney family movie, so that's probably why we went, and that's why I remember it, because we didn't go see it very often
My
in
family
theaters.
didn't take me to movies.
Well, you had cable, though, which
Yeah,
is
we
something
did have
I did
cable.
not have. But, yeah, we definitely bought it on VHS. Afterwards, I'm sure my dad liked it and watched it quite a bit, because it was, like I said, a safe movie, which doesn't explain then later on how I was watching horror movies and other violent things. Kids can get around things.
Sure.
Yep, back alley dealing, VHS dealings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Well,
Cinemax after 6.
Well, I'll hook you. Well, you had that. I had a fight in the alleys. Wait. Well. Anyway. Yeah. But I really liked all the big stuff that they had, and I always wondered if they made that into sets or whatever, or a theme park or something in Disney World Land.
I think Disney World Land had a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of space.
And so that's what I liked most of all as a kid, and would like to have gone down.
Yeah. The movie's very theme park-esque.
Mm-hmm. Definitely on a set.
Definitely.
Studio lot set. But we get it. It's still 1989, so this still counts as a 80s trope of an animated intro.
Yeah. I really liked it because it made me think of Pixar, the way they do their credits.
It was a stylized intro of two kids being shrunk down and being attacked by everything, and then seeing all the actors, the credits of everyone creatively done.
And they did a very good job of making it's a 2D hand-drawn animation, but they do a really good job with the 3D aspects of all the items that they drew, which I was very impressed with.
They threw some money at this. And then they threw more money at James Horner.
James motherfucking Horner!
Doing the soundtrack for this movie. And outright stealing a bit of music. The dun 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 ba 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 dun 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 dun.
So that's not the only thing he outright stole for this movie.
That's the first part we hear. Yeah, he stole that. It's called Powerhouse. It's an old jazz ballad from the 30s, and
sure, that's what I recognize it from.
That's what it is, and he
jazz.
incorporated that throughout this.
But it's not dun 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 dun. It's dun 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 dun.
Thanks,
whatever that.
Thank you, Vanilla Ice.
You're welcome.
Well done. Yo, you gotta shave some eyebrow lines and get some steps.
That's all right.
No,
I don't know if I can go back to flat tops. Might not work out so well anymore these days.
Aw. Does getting old suck? Yes. Yes, it does. But after the animated intro, we're shown a
house.
Houses. I want to say a block of houses that are very obviously, if you have an eye for it, they're on a studio lot.
It looked a lot like the Warner Brothers back lot. They have a corner with just houses, and it looks a lot like that, which looks like everything else.
It was shot in Mexico City for some reason on their whatever studio lot they had there.
So they probably just built it exactly.
Probably exactly, but you're right though. It looks like that. And so we have two houses next to each other: the Zelinskys and the Thompsons. Well, not houses. The families live in the houses,
and they're equally weird and nerdy in their own ways.
Yeah, and you see that hear that throughout the movie as they say, "What a weird family," and then the other family says the same thing back. So you have the Zelinskys. So they're the dad is the inventor, played by Rick Moranis. His name is Wayne, and he's the one who invents the shrink ray, and he has a workplace up in his attic, and so he's building the shrink ray. Amy is the teenage daughter, and then we have a nerdy kid.
Yeah, kind of bigger glasses. I don't remember his name, but
his name was Nick.
Yeah, he definitely idolizes his dad.
He dresses up in a coat, a white lab coat. And he's making a little version of a shrink ray of all his own, and he shoots at his dog with it. It just makes like a lighting zappy noise. Pew, pew. And what was the dog's name? Quark. I knew he had a good name. I was going to say Sparky, but he has a better name.
That's a good name for that dog.
Quark is a good name for that dog. But the bad thing about this dog is he's completely voiced by Frank Welker. Bark noises and all the time. All his growling noises was completely done.
Why would you even do that?
By a famous voice actor.
Sense.
Who it doesn't make sense. Why you can just get regular dog sound barks, but throughout the entire movie,
I would think that would be cheaper to get dog Foley
than a famous voice actor who's done everything, and that annoyed me because I just kept on hearing Frank Welker bark, and it'd be reminded of why. Stop it. Stop making Frank Welker noises. I've heard your voice all throughout my childhood, and still to this day, I can pick you up pretty easily, Frank. Wow. Get better at your craft, Frank.
Oh my God,
it's on.
So if you're gonna ever be up in the not the Northwoods, but northeast Wisconsin, it's gonna be a goddamn gloves off.
Throw down, Frank Welker. Yeah, bullshit. I'd be like, oh, you're amazing. Oh my God. But, so that's and then the mom isn't there. She's a real estate agent, and
they're having problems.
They're having problems because Wayne has been working on this laser too much, and he hasn't done anything else. Really. And they had a fight last night. Yeah. Whatever. And there's dumb gadgets everywhere in the house, too, like Back to the Future or Gremlins.
But it's not over the top like Gremlins.
True. That's true.
Gremlins tried to make every scene about one of these things. This is just they're in the background, whatever.
Yep.
It's weird. It's quirky. Move on.
Mm-hmm. You're right. Yeah. Amy, the teenage daughter, is on the phone, and she's wanting to go to a dance that night. She sets up also that the mom and dad had a fight. Yeah. And mom went to hotel, so she's not there right now. Yeah. But next door we have the Thompsons, and Matthew Frewer is playing Big Russ Thompson.
Who?
Matthew Frewer. He was on an episode of Star Trek Next Generation, and he's done. Oh, he's a character actor who's been in tons of stuff.
Okay, because I'm listening to him, and I'm hearing Jim Carrey come out of him.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at him, and he looks like a young Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay, the crazy Canadian balding guy. Yeah, who's a meth addict. Yeah. I could see him playing that role pretty well. Yeah, he's a big character actor. He's in tons of stuff. I've just seen him throughout. But I'm a fan of him. And he does have that Jim Carrey cadence.
Yeah, he does.
When did Jim Carrey get big?
This would be borderline him coming up because
I think this is still before.
First Bitten or Once Bitten was like his first big movie.
But that didn't really land.
No, it didn't land.
This was still, I think, before In Living Color also.
Yeah, it's just very interesting that they have such same qualities with their voice.
Yep.
But
anyway, but we're introduced to the Thompsons, and they hate. Well, at least he hates the next door neighbors because they're always waking him up with with Wayne's crazy inventions, and they're going camping though this Saturday. And so that's their big thing is their
camping and sports
fishing.
Dad.
For Dad. He has a younger son named Ron, and he's just like him. He's got a
but Dad doesn't see him. That's the idea I got off of Ron was that Ron wants to do all these things, but Dad doesn't really. He's just like, yeah, whatever, go over there because he's more interested in his other son, which is Little Russ.
Basically it's Little Russ. Yeah, Little Russ is a little bit older, and we're constantly told that he's little and just a little guy, and that he he got cut from the football team because he was too small, and he doesn't like to do things like fishing or hunting or football.
And he looks completely normal.
He's completely normal except for his face is awkward. No, he's got an awkward face, and I remember as a kid, he's got a weird looking face. Whatever. But I just remember that as a kid thinking, this kid looks weird. But as an adult, he's fine. But I don't think so because Big Russ is talking to Little Russ and being disappointed in his son. Oh, what do you like doing? And just goes in the bathroom and closes the door. The mom says, well, leave him alone. And she's really nice to the neighbors too. The mom is, I noticed. But anyway, what my point is, he goes outside. Big Russ goes outside to talk to his other son, Ron, and he's camping out there, and he gets an arrow to the head, or suction cupped with super glue arrow. But he does say out loud now why can't Russ be more like Ron? He does like that kid and does pay attention to him. But
he doesn't.
He doesn't have to pay attention to Ron because Ron is already doing exactly what he wants him to do. He's already doing nature stuff.
Ron wants his attention, and he's not getting it.
Man, I must have missed that. Because he asked him to play baseball, and then he's
like, no, I'm busy.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You didn't have a brother either, so.
Yeah, I'm an only child, so that's why I didn't pay any attention to these types of dynamics.
So I guess that helps me pick up on little family dynamics like that.
Yeah, I'm just a lonely kid. Just sitting alone, watching movie after movie after movie to pass time. Going out in the woods with real weapons and swords and things you did in the 80s. Finding pornos.
Whoa.
Porno mags. This was the 80s.
Yeah.
No, not porno shoots. Like, what are you guys doing out here?
Hey, kids, you need a job.
Hey, hold this boomstick, Mike. All right. Anyway, but that was a thing in the 80s.
Yes.
Finding pornography in the woods.
Really?
Yes.
I never found any in the woods. I found, chairs.
You weren't in the right woods, apparently.
No.
Because there'd be, ripped up paper and things. Just, stashes of...
This must have been out in where you grew up.
Well,
specifically,
it was more in over. Wait, I'm getting off. Believe me, this is a thing. I verified it with other people
who lived around you.
No, if you have found pornography in the woods in the 80s, please comment on our Facebook page. Back to the movie. So yeah, we're just showing. Okay. We have the Thompsons and the Zelinskis. They're opposites. They don't necessarily like each other.
Yeah.
Ron doesn't like the dweeby little kid, Nick. We see little Russ eyeing up Amy because they're both in high school, probably the same age.
Hormones.
Yeah, whatever. She dances. He's watching her dance. There's a good scene where Big Russ goes and says to little Russ, "Hey, lift some weights. I used to be like you, but then I lifted weights. And I was captain of a football team or whatever." Yeah. And he does a funny bit where he tries to lift the weights he used to be able to lift, and he can't. He's like, remember,
I don't believe that he was all that. He's just a tall, skinny guy like me. He's not. He couldn't.
Well, when you stop working out, and
I have never lost any of my bulk.
You were never bulky.
No.
Or played football. Or popular. Or lifted weights.
Why you gotta pick on me?
Wait, I was a little guy. I was always little.
All right. So,
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Little Russ agrees to lift weights just to get his dad off his back.
Basically, yeah.
And stuff keeps happening. Ron is playing baseball in the backyard.
Yep.
Hits the ball into the neighbor's attic after Wayne left.
Wayne goes to deliver a thing to try to basically sell his shrinking ray idea to a bunch of people, and this is going to try to be his big break. He can't get it to work. He tried shooting an apple, and it exploded. It just can't get it to work just right.
Yeah.
So he found an expensive way to make applesauce.
Nah.
But then Ron is baseballing.
Knocks the baseball into the attic. The baseball hits the machine, makes it sparky.
Yep.
Blocks the laser, which seems to be the main point, not so much the sparky.
Yeah, blocks one of the lasers on the device.
And then it goes crazy.
Yeah, it's just going nuts. Just
it's going to shrink anything.
Wibble wobbling, and it's shooting random stuff, and it hits Wayne's thinking couch that he has off to the side.
Yeah.
Shrinks down. Ron is going to run away and hide, but Little Russ just grabs him and says, no, you need to apologize. You need to tell him. Goes up there. Only the kids are there. They're cleaning up the house and basically says, sorry, did this. So Nick and Ron go upstairs. They get shrunk first.
Yep.
And the other two, what's taking so long? Then they get zapped.
Yep.
So now it has happened.
It has happened.
It's happened. But then the shrinking ray moves because it can move in so many different crazy directions. It knocks the baseball off, and then this magic baseball again lands on the turn off button or something. Right? No.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Basically.
Yeah. Oh, this is what happens. That's right. Because everyone laughed at Wayne saying that your shrink ray is silly, and the only thing you shrunk is the audience here. He calls his wife saying, everything's going to change. I'm going to try to get my old job back. So everything's going to be better. Goes home, can't find the kids, goes upstairs, and you think he's going to get shrunk also as he's coming up the stairs, but then that's when the baseball falls off.
Yeah.
And it shuts down. And then he realizes that his couch is missing. It's gone. And then he hits his head and gets mad, at the machine and starts breaking it and smashing it. So bits of metal and circuits are flying everywhere, almost hitting the tiny kids now that are on the floor. And they tried getting his attention with the thinking couch. So they pick up the couch and they're yelling, hey, we're down here, Dad. We're down here, Mr. Zelinsky. But they can't hear at all.
Mm.
And
sweeps
them all up. And they get
trash.
The trash far away.
In the backyard.
They cut themselves out, and then that's when you realize it's a jungle. And that's the other thing is the reason why their backyard looks like a jungle is Nick was supposed to cut it with this remote-controlled lawnmower.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like to do any physical labor, apparently, even just standing there with a remote control. And he tells another kid, hey, if you give me a box of cookies or whatever, you can come and you can mow this. The kid says, I have to do something else. I'll come back later. Okay, so that kid's going to come back later and mow the lawn.
Yeah.
But it's a jungle, so that's the idea, is that there's so much grass, it's huge for them. Mm-hmm. And Ron calculates, not Ron, Ron's an idiot. Nick, he's the smart one, gets a calculator out because it's a pocket protector, and he calculates something like 3 miles to get across this jungle. And there's a little bit dynamic how much Ron hates. He really hates the family a lot more. Where little bub, little
his
Russ,
jaw hanging open.
Yeah, little bub. Little Russ is fine with it. He's fine with the other family. It's more Ron is being a jerk.
Yeah.
But Mom comes home. The Thompsons are also looking for their kids. Their kids are missing, so they're starting to wonder what happened. They talk to each other. You see my kids? No. You see mine? No. I don't know what happened to them. But no, this is before. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But the big thing is that Wayne figures it out. He starts to realize that a baseball went through and did all this.
He found his couch.
He found the couch. That's right. And which doesn't make sense because that should have gotten swept up.
Yeah,
because it was in the middle and he was. This is important now, but he does find the couch. That's right, And so that's when he realizes it works, and he goes out to the backyard and
sees the bag cut open,
and then he starts walking on his lawn when he realizes I could be stepping on the kids, so he comically climbs on the fence and crawls across. And I think this is the first time that Big Russ sees him out the window and just says, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this was a big thing in my childhood that another friend, Aaron, and I still do this to this day of, huh. I used to do it a lot more back then, but even my wife Natalie said, so that's where when she was watching this movie with me, like, so that's where you got that from, because that happens throughout this movie. I wrote it down, I think 6 times.
Wow.
Different characters go, mm-hmm. So that's one thing this movie did. That's how much I saw this movie. There you go. Connecting things. Whatever. So then he gets stilts on. And has binoculars, and he's looking for the kids. Mom comes home earlier and said, I closed the deal. So people are coming by. So then you get a wacky scene of these people wanting to sign escrow papers, closing a house just to see this. But, yeah, it's a lot of silly things happening.
Yeah, this is the part of the movie where it starts getting silly. Into, like, what are these people doing silly? What are these people doing silly?
Yeah, and each family member looks at the other, or looks at the Thompsons. You're silly, and then you look across the fence. You're silly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The little kids are now in the jungle, and they are just trying to get across. But then when the sprinklers turn on, water starts falling everywhere, and whatever. There's a whole scene with a bee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they try climbing a flower to get to see. Oh, they're trying to call Quark because Quark can hear them, but Quark tried to help.
Yeah.
But Spike, the Thompson's cat. Is tougher than little tiny Quark, and Quark has to escape. So they could have gotten there if it wasn't for that cat.
Stupid cats.
Because Quark could have come on over, they jump on Quark, and they would have been safe.
Now, let's think about this. The cat would honestly be interested in them, too. Like, hey, this is some cool things I'm going to bat around.
Yeah, bat around, play with them until they die.
Yeah.
Pick them up, drop them off at as a present for the family. Look what I had. Because there is a scene where Big Russ is sitting there, and he's about to smoke or something. Mm-hmm. But then the cat is just happy as can be, trying to rub up against him. Mm-hmm. He's a happy kitty. But in this other scene, we see he's a jerk cat. So that's the thing. So that's why the dog can't come and help them out. They try, There's a whole bee sequence where little Russ grabs little Nicky, whatever, on a bee, and he saves his life, basically, because the bee flies around, and Rick Moranis hits it with a baseball bat, which is pretty good. Hits a bee in mid-flight. And I think it looked pretty good, the rear projection.
Yeah, the bee part looked all right.
Looked good. And a lot of the grass looks pretty good, but you can tell it's just
occasionally when they did a point up through the grass and you see the composite shots, occasionally didn't look good.
Some did and some didn't.
But overall, I thought they did a pretty good job with them.
Definitely. The kids got separated, and Amy is stuck with Ron, who's complaining the entire time.
Mm-hmm. Meh. She should have just punched him. That's what I was thinking the whole time.
Yeah, she could have just punched him.
Because he's like, "Oh, we're gonna sue you, family." I was like, "So what? Just deck them and then see how much lawsuit action happens." Because that's not gonna happen.
True. Oh, but she does say something even better though. She says, "Well, our shrink ray works. Our family's going to be rich." And then he turns around, hey, I always liked you guys.
I'd rather have him crying than being a suck-up.
Wow. Punch his kid in the face.
Because you know how violent of a person I am.
Very violent. Usually scared for my life. So, Wayne tells his wife she is happy now that, hey, it works. But where are the kids? Oh, they got shrunk.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the Thompsons actually called the police over, and they're telling them what's going on. Wayne had made this weird balanced thing,
hammock
thing in the backyard to with binoculars and lights, just searching the grass, to hover above it, to not step on the grass, not step on them is the big thing. And the police come by to get the missing child report from the Thompsons, and they do a lot of quite a bit.
That's right. Yeah, they do.
They do quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Did you recognize who the female officer was?
Who was it?
She was the mom in Better Off Dead. She was Ricky's mom.
Really?
Yep, that was her.
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to put that together.
Yeah, that wasn't me. That was Natalie. She pointed that out.
Good point.
I didn't catch it anyway.
Yeah.
But, so there. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Really, there's a good scene where they had said earlier that the water got turned on, and they made it halfway. The kids had made it halfway through the yard because there's like this stepping stone in the middle of the yard, so that's the marker. But then Amy gets hit by water and she falls into a puddle of goopy, poopy, watery, gross. And little Russ slides down there, gives her mouth to mouth, and saves her life. Really,
yeah.
And I really remember that scene. Good job doing that, saving her life. But how goopy and gross that water stuff was.
It's pretty
that was
gross.
Really well done. And I felt bad for the actors this time around because she had that in her and she had to cough that up and it was kind of drying around her mouth. And they're all covered in this gross.
They get paid money.
Probably not that much because these kids they weren't and are famous kids. Except for
at least paid scale.
That's true. The only kid I recognized was the Ron, who was Tom Hanks' friend in Big. The movie Big.
Oh. Huh.
That's him.
I didn't pick that out either.
Okay. That's the only thing I recognize that kid from. And that's what I thought. They're getting covered in goop, in different types of goop throughout this movie. Like it's a Nickelodeon show or something. So much goop. The mom helps. Her name is May. No, that's the other mom, Diane. I really didn't hear their names and whatever.
No, I don't stick to it.
So they're helping she's helping trying to find the kids in the grass, hovering above it, and they can't find them.
Well, and the main point is they're just breaking away from that flagstone, and both of the parents are circling around the
center of it. Yeah, that's
so
right.
they'll never find them.
Yep.
For hours at least.
Mm-hmm. But then they finally say, because they can see the Thompsons next door are getting really genuinely worried about their kids because now it's nighttime, and so they say, "Well, we got to tell them."
Yeah.
So they go over and of course, I don't believe you. No, not why. How shrink ray? Come on, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't believe him at all. So now the kids they had made friends with a baby ant. We're told.
And they were eating the cream pie.
Oh, yeah. They had a Little Debbie cream pie that...
And the ant wanted it, but then they figured out that they can,
Yeah, they fought over this huge thing that they could both be eating and share. But they figure out, we could wrangle this here ant and then ride it.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that's about it. Ron makes friends with it, and he names it Auntie because he's not clever at all.
No.
So they get to go further, whatever. But then they have to sleep, and they sleep inside of a Lego.
Which couldn't have been comfortable at all.
No, I was thinking that, just this cold plastic in the middle of the night. They get, for warmth, though, they get a cigarette that...
yeah, good God.
Thinking a stench.
I don't understand how the little kid was right next to the cigarette and not throwing up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I would have just totally imagined that they would just be barfing the whole time because...
Yeah. And they mentioned that Nick has allergies too, and he's right next to this huge Camel cigarette that Big Russ was smoking, but he threw because he's worried. And then Little Russ says, "Oh, Dad only smokes when he's worried." Mm-hmm. So there's that. They use the fire, whatever, stay a little bit warm, but then... In the morning, they get attacked by a scorpion.
Which,
what? Scorpions off from the desert.
This makes me wonder where the hell they are supposed to be, because it doesn't look like they're on the West Coast. I think this is more looking like it's supposed to be East Coast.
I think so, too.
And that's not a prime scorpion country out there.
Nope. So we have this stop-motion scorpion trying to murder them, but luckily Auntie comes to save their lives.
Yeah.
And then Auntie gets stabbed in the frickin'... I remember in the head, but whatever, it's in the torso. Whatever, gets stabbed and dies. And they manage to scare the scorpion away.
something.
So
they stabbed it in the eye. Yeah.
Oh, they did with one of the spear sticks, whatever. But Auntie dies, so we're supposed to feel sad about this aunt that was trying to be like a puppy horse. It was becoming intelligent every time the 2 hours they spent with it. Yeah. Sure. As a kid, I felt a little bit sad about this. Then as an adult, that's dumb. You're trying to make me feel bad for an aunt.
And then, so they go back to bed, but they build traps. So that
they build a bunch of traps if it comes back again.
Yeah.
And they're all sleeping together in the bottom part of the Lego now. And that's when I thought it was really uncomfortable. All 4 of them laying and just be scrunched together.
Well, the one in the middle is going to be hurting.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Crushed.
But they built some elaborate traps. So that they probably spent more time building traps than sleeping.
And they're showing how tired they are and just exhausted from this jungle excursion. Yeah. But now it's morning, and this is when this kid comes by to mow the lawn. Yeah. They try going down a earthworm hole, but they all get sucked up into it, and they don't get chopped up in the lawnmower because I think the dad turn off just in time, so they get blown out to where then Cork picks them up. Yeah. And now they're going inside, and
cereal.
Oh yeah, scene. Nick falls in the cereal that Wayne is eating, and
he almost eats him.
But Corkin bites him. Oh, hey, I was about to eat you. Looks down, and now basically they're saved. Yeah. So
bring in the other family, show them the laser.
Yeah, and
tell them what's going on. And they're like, "What?" But here's the kids. Here's evidence.
Oh, okay. And this is when Big Russ says, "Okay, you can practice on me." Oh no,
the kids mentioned pantomime baseball.
Yep, they're playing. Yeah. Oh, they put the baseball here. That's why your thing worked. It blocked the laser, so now he knows to stop that one part of the laser.
So then Big Russ then volunteers to be tested on.
Yep. So he shrunks down. He gets shrinky down. Shrinks back. Gets big again, but his baseball cap's a little bit smaller. Oh,
it's a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger, yeah. So he's not the same. He's smaller. I mean, he is no longer the big man anymore. And they all hold hands and get zapped. Oh, look, they're all back together. Woo.
Yeah.
All together.
And I think that was it.
Yeah, and that just shows a scene of put her there, Wayne, put her there, Big Ron, and they shake hands and
hinting that the girl's gonna go to the dance with Little Russ.
Yeah, because they mentioned she's like, oh, the entire time I need to get back home so I can go to the dance with so and so, and since Little Russ saved not only her life, also Nick's life. Yeah, you kind of need to put out now. I mean, come on, just a little bit. After the dance.
At least a handy.
At least a handy after you. And it can be awkward. It can be an awkward handy. You don't even look at me. Just touch it for okay.
Or at least bring in a hobo that you authorize.
Wait. So okay. So how is this working?
So
I want logistics.
They have their school next to a train yard.
Sure,
so
obviously you're going to.
They have to go somewhere private to do this, so they go back to the train yard. But then she can farm out the work to a hobo.
Yeah,
because they're always looking for work. And then no one feels grossed out by it or anything.
Okay, all right.
Everyone can go home.
You're demeaning hobos a little bit just because they need money. They're human beings still.
They're not going to force a hobo to do something.
I don't know. Maybe.
Have you ever forced a hobo to do something?
Not necessarily this. Well, this is sounding similar to how I lost my virginity. Wait, we're way off topic. But the family are now friends.
Yes.
And they show they're having a giant dinner. They're eating a giant fake-looking turkey.
They blew it up.
Make it real big. And
big dog treat.
A big Alpo milk bone for Cork because he actually saved the day. And they're making eyes. Amy and Russ are making eyes at each other and playing footsie underneath. So they're a couple.
I didn't even bother with that.
You didn't bother with that?
No.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and the one thing is when Amy was getting mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Yeah.
Nick asks, "Hey, how did you know how to do that?" And he jokingly looks at Amy and then looks back at Nick and says, "I learned that in French class, kid." Nick does not understand because he's 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the movie fades out. Then
does a circle
come back? Looney Tunes circle back in on this actor Nick's face and says, "French class, I get it." And that's how we end this movie.
Not funny.
Not funny. No.
It's a terrible way to end it.
It felt like they wanted to make that a joke or line or catchphrase of, "Hey, did you go to French class today?"
Well, they did a bad job at it because you only did it once in the middle of the movie and then called back to it at the end. Nope. Anyone knows how to do this. It's Crow T Robot knows how to make a new phrase. You know you want me, baby.
You know you want me, baby. I can't wait for that to come back on Netflix. Season 11. Woo! Anyway. We're not back on Netflix. Just coming back in general. Yes. But, and then we get James Horner music.
Which, now, in this movie for James Horner is, I heard at least 5 other of his movies in there.
Yeah.
And I heard Goonies.
Yes. There was Goonies in this.
He did right. Goonies music during this.
Yes. You are absolutely right. Maybe he didn't have much time to make the score for this movie, and he just threw it to had just to throw pieces together.
Yeah. There's a certain thing that I've heard him use before too. It's I don't know if it's a flute or whatever, but they do a certain the musician blows into their instrument and gets a huffing kind of sound out of their instrument, not a real sound. And he uses that one a lot in Legends of the Fall.
Oh, wow.
So, and that one was in there. And so I picked that one out. And I'm trying to remember what other soundtracks that I could tell that, he's using these techniques across. I like James.
Good job.
I like Mr. Horner's work quite a bit.
I do too, but I think you like him a little more, which is just fine. Does this movie hold up? For me, no. I didn't really care for it that much this time around as an adult. What was nice though was Rick Moranis wasn't over the top mad scientist guy. They wanted to get Martin Short for this role, and that would have been horrible because he would have been all completely zany mad scientist. And I think he did a really good job with that. The kids are fine. They're the little annoying kid isn't that annoying.
No, he's all right.
Everybody else is just fine in this movie. It's just not that interesting. Besides seeing all the sets, how they did special effects. This is a Joe Johnston directed movie. This is his first directed movie, if you know who Joe Johnston is.
Nope.
He directed that movie against Nazis with The Rocketeer.
Oh, okay.
And he did a bunch of other movies. But where he got his start was, and probably why he got hired, was he worked for George Lucas. He did design for them. He actually designed, I believe, all the finals for the X-Wings, the Y-Wing Star Destroyers.
Very cool.
So, okay, I'm rambling on, but I guess, what did you think?
So, I think in the end that this as a movie, live-action movie, doesn't really sell past 92 to 95. After that, I think it kind of starts...
You think it's dated?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit dated. I think the idea of it isn't dated.
Not true. Well, there's been constant stories of being shrunk and then having to deal with common things that you wouldn't normally think about.
And I don't think this is the best movie of people being shrunk and doing things. Mm-hmm. Inner Space to me is a much better shrinking
that's a movie. Stay tuned. We might go to that one.
Yeah. I do think this can live on as, like we talked about, a theme park-ish kind of thing.
That would be a lot of fun.
Or an animated series of some sort could do very well with this because you don't have to worry about special effects, and everything's a special effect.
Yeah, you're right. Some of the special effects don't hold up anymore,
and I think that would be pretty distracting.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's the right person, I think they'd like it. I'm probably not going to watch it again.
No, I won't. I had enough of it in my childhood, but it did give me a.
So there you go.
Uh-huh.
I wonder when I'm going to start bumping into stuff that I realize I'm still doing after all these years.
Your stuff, from what I noticed, is the state.
Yeah,
so
I know that.
Yeah, well, you know that.
All right.
So.
That was Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, email at therewinderspodcast@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at RewindersPod. You can find this podcast on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Stitcher. Please.
Please.
We're back on that. Rate and review.
Thank you. Well, I learned that, again, all you have to do is get how to get the girl, save her life, and her brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
My lesson learned is not much different than yours.
Really? Okay, go ahead.
Mine was put a girl in a dangerous situation and act hospitable towards her, and you've got yourself a girlfriend.
That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, you know.
It's not hard.
You guys go into like a cave. Oh, I lost all our gear. And then magically find it after 13 hours and be like, oh, I saved us. Girlfriend.
That's it. And then you go to the rail yards and get a hobo.
Yeah.
And you're set. That's it.
Throw like a bear in there somewhere because you need some sort of danger.
Is it a regular bear or a San Franciscan bear? You decide. Whatever floats your boat. Okay. All right.
Why not both?
Hey, we're the Rewinders, Frank Tradition.